Hey everyone, Alicia here, and you're tuned into my guide. Let's talk laser. I'm really excited to do this video for you guys because I've been getting laser hair removal done for a little over a year now, so I feel like I'm well versed enough to let you know what's good. I have two parts of my body that I've gotten lasered. The first part is my armpit area, which I've been getting lasered for the last 4 months. And the second part is the Brazilian, which I've been getting done for a little over a year. And my reasoning for doing this is because hair is annoying, obviously, and I just wanted to get rid of it permanently because I've been waxing for the last 3 years before I started lasering, and I didn't really feel like the results were that fantastic. I felt like they were way better than shaving because I'm extremely sensitive. All I ever get is ingrown hairs or hairs that grow back within 2 seconds of putting the razor down. So that never really worked for me. Depilators stink and they grow back within the week. And I never really thought the idea of a thing that like goes across your skin and pulls out your hair, aka the epilator, would be a good idea either. So for me, laser seemed like the best option. I was very hesitant to get into it being a woman of color because I've been told so many times over the years that laser hair removal is not for us, which is totally not true. If you go to the right salon, and it doesn't even have to be a specific to Black women, Indian women, any sort of women of pigmentation salon. Talk about the procedure, the pain, because I'm sure that's on all of your minds. And if you are a woman of color, deeper complexion, I've got some tips for you guys as well. And just for everyone in general, what you need to know. If you're going for the first time, go in the morning. I find when I do something in the morning, I have less time for my feelings and my mind and my just me to get in my head and panic and worry and get anxious over things. If you've been going for a while, afternoon's perfectly fine. Just pop an Advil, extra strength, and you'll be good to go, girl. Procedure. So this is the most important thing. You have to have a consultation before you go because you want to kind of get an idea of how your salon does it. Everyone does it a little differently. I've been going to the same salon for 5 years. As mentioned before, I've been getting waxes there for 3 years prior to my laser. So I've gotten to know the estheticians pretty well. There's a few that I trust. There's a few that I don't. The same goes for every single salon. Everyone will be different and do things their own way. And I found that out the hard way with waxing because when I used to go, I'd be like, yeah, anyone. And there's some people that would rip and it'd be quick. And there's some people and I was just like, you're trying to kill me. Your consultation is pretty much where they'll do a demo on a patch of skin to see how your body reacts. Generally, if you have any sort of redness, irritation, or itching several days after, it's a no-go, it's not for you. You'll know, first of all, that you are a candidate for laser hair if your hair is coarser and darker than your skin color. So no matter how light or dark you are, your skin and your hair have to be kind of on contrast because if you have brown skin and brown hair that's also fair, it probably won't pick up and the laser won't be able to get it. They do the demo on a section that's not as sensitive as, say, your whole Brazilian area and is a lot smaller than any area that would actually be done in a procedure. So the amount of pain, the concentration, the time are a lot less than they will be when you actually have your first procedure and going onwards. But it really does vary. If you are a girl, make sure that you're going 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after your period because otherwise you are just setting yourself up to cry because it will be extremely painful. Also make sure that you're taking an extra strength Advil before you go each session unless you are someone who has a high threshold for pain or enjoys torture. What they're going to do is, if you haven't already, they're going to take a razor and shave off every last bit of hair just because you don't want any hair on the surface. It actually stings and burns a little bit more than it already does. They're going to apply an ultrasound gel, and if you want to, you can lie to yourself like I did the first time and told myself that it actually has numbing properties when it totally doesn't, and it helped my process be a lot smoother. And then I found it after and I was like, wow, the power of the mind, man. Then they slowly, section by section, go and run this cool tipped, because it's a metal tipped laser gun over your skin. You will smell burning. If it is working well, you will feel pinches, feel more like needles going into each pore at the beginning, and then as more and more of your hair is permanently removed, you'll feel less and less needles going into each pore. And then when it's done, you shouldn't feel anything other than slight tenderness. There shouldn't be any sort of true soreness. There might be a tiny bit of swelling, but if you're having an adverse reaction or feel anything more than a slight heat or slight cool, I mean, things do vary, but for me, every single time I haven't felt more than, say, an hour pain, and then I forget about it during the day. A tip I just want to mention is make sure you go to an esthetician that is very well experienced, especially if you've got a cocoa skin tone, because you want to make sure that person knows how to tweak the machine. Say if there's certain parts that have been resilient over a couple sessions, they can up the ante without burning or irritating your skin. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I've gotten 2 sections of my body done, the armpits and the Brazilian. And with both of them, there are some similarities and some differences. The similarities are as you go closer to the center of, say, your armpits, or it gets way more sensitive. So keep that in mind. Prepare yourself, brace yourself, and don't kick your salon lady. With the underarm area, I've only had 3 treatments so far, 6 weeks apart, and my hair is almost completely gone. Like, there is no trace, very little grows back in between sessions. I've only experienced the greatest amount of hair reduction here, my very first session. Ever since then, I kind of feel like it's built a kind of resilience to the laser. But there are patches that haven't grown back whatsoever as well. Let's compare waxing versus laser. If you've gotten waxing before, you know that the pain generally lasts a little longer than just the procedure alone. For me, it could last up to 2 days depending on how my body is feeling and doing, or it could just last maybe an hour or 2 after the procedure. With laser, it literally lasts no more than 2 hours after the procedure, and that's really if I'm super sensitive. Waxing, you cannot shave, use depilators, epilators, anything in between, because the hair needs to grow back in order to be ripped out. With laser, you can't use anything except for shaving because you need the hair to grow back. Laser, you can wait 6 to 8 weeks, even longer, depending on how long you've been doing it for. And with waxing, generally around the 3 to 4 week mark is when you want to go back. Post-procedure is very, very important. It's almost as important as the procedure itself, because it really determines how your body reacts and how your body will prep itself for the next time you go. Make sure that, again, you are not using waxes, depilators, or epilators in between your sessions, because then you're removing the hair follicles and the laser won't be able to do its job. Make sure that you're not in the sunlight, so no sunbathing in the areas that you're getting your laser done, because that will cause hyperpigmentation. Make sure that you're not applying vitamin A, any sort of retinol A sort of derivatives on that skin, because again, hyperpigmentation. If you're doing your armpit areas, don't apply deodorant for at least 24 hours for all areas of your body. No sweaty activities for at least a day. All right, guys, I hope that this video helped. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, please thumbs up and subscribe. If you have any questions, you know where to leave them. And thanks so much for watching. Until next time, love and later. Oh yeah. What else? Oh, itchy.